Hey folks, Mitchell Brock with Bring the Pain Sports, and we're coming back to you live from TD ECU Stadium here in Houston, Texas, where the Cougars fall, surprisingly, to the Tulane Green Wave by a score of 31-24. Cougs got down big early. Tulane came out playing well. At the end, the Cougars made a little bit of a push, but turned the ball over at the end of the game to end it. And I'm standing here with U of H students and fans. We've got Matt and we've got Mark. Matt, I'll start with you.
Yes, sir.
You are a student here at U of H, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am.
What year are you in?
I'm a junior.
Junior, what are you studying?
Petroleum engineering.
Petroleum engineering. Okay. You know, during the day I work for NASA, so within the next couple of years I'll probably see you in there if that's what you're doing for a living.
Yes, sir.
All right. So talk to me first about what you saw out of the Cougars offense in the first half of this game. What'd you think about it?
First half, we started out a little slow, a little rough. Ward threw his first 2 interceptions that he's ever thrown. I mean, it's a rough start, but eventually we started coming out. We started moving the ball and getting it down the field. We had a shot at the end, but just couldn't quite pull it through.
Now, when we were in the press box, actually in my pregame, when I was down here doing my pregame, I mentioned Farrell. Farrell had 22 carries for 113 yards last week. And it seemed to me like they weren't feeding him today like they've been feeding him. I mean, they had 22 in the game. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. But they weren't feeding Farrell like they normally feed him. What do you think about that?
I think maybe they were putting more confidence in their quarterback, Ward. Didn't quite turn out. We all have our rough days, but they could be just trying to put more weight on Ward's shoulders. But yeah, unfortunately, they just didn't pan out.
Okay. Mark, and you are also a U of H student. And what year are you in, and what are you studying?
I'm a junior, and I'm studying business MIS.
Okay. When I first picked these guys to come down, I looked and I said, "This is a big dude." Now y'all know how big I am. Now I'm a big guy, and this guy makes me look like a dwarf out here. And I said, "Man, why you don't play? Tell him why you don't play."
My senior year, I broke my ankle in 3 different places because I played baseball.
You broke your ankle playing baseball.
Playing baseball, yeah.
You a catcher?
No, I was a first baseman and I was a pitcher.
Okay. Now, what school did you attend?
Klein Forest.
Klein Forest. Okay. So I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the defense.
Okay.
Third ward defense. It looked like the Bel Air defense today. It didn't quite look like third ward to me, especially in that first half. What did you see on the defensive side of the ball that allowed Tulane to just basically gash the U of H defense the way it did today?
I mean, we started out slow. I mean, it took us a long time to really get started, to really get our confidence up. I mean, we've been known in the past to really kind of start a little bit slow and then gain the momentum as we start scoring points. But I mean, once Ward, kind of threw the first pick or whatever, I think it really got to the defense and it just brought down the morale of the whole entire team.
Okay, now, when you played football, what'd you play?
Center.
You were center. Okay,
Yeah.
That's what I played. So we can talk. We can talk.
Yeah.
Now, when we were in the press box, I noticed that Tulane didn't seem to be a very big team physically. We were looking at their linemen. We were like, man, their linemen aren't even all that big. U of H should kill these guys. Why do you think they were able to get pushed on the U of H defensive lineman up front? As a lineman, what'd you see?
Technique. It's all about technique. I mean, you could be the biggest guy on the field, you could be the strongest guy on the field, but if you don't have the right technique, you're going to get beat every time.
Now, I'll come back to my man Matt over here. Talk to me about the All-American kicker that missed. The first one he missed was like 50-some-odd yards, so we'll kind of let him slide on that one. But that last one was under 40. Talk to me about what you think is going through his head why he couldn't make these big kicks. That was 6 points that they left on the field. What do you think about that?
I don't know, man. He's in a tough spot. Maybe could be the pressure got to him. I don't know. I kicked a little bit in high school, not much, but I mean, I don't know. It's just sometimes it goes through, sometimes it don't.
But when you're an All-American kicker, you got to nail those.
That's true. That's true. He should have had him, but I don't know why I just couldn't come up with them.
At the same time, Ward put him in a bad situation. On that last one he missed, Ward lost about 12 yards scrambling.
Yeah.
Okay, now, did you actually kick in the game or you just?
I kicked in the game some, but mainly just in practice. I was a backup.
Okay, one thing we were talking about in the pregame is that kickers seem to need a bunch of practice. Every time you turn around, you see the kicker on the field kicking and kicking and kicking. How important is it to is it a psyche thing with kickers? You think kicking is more mental or you think it's more physical?
It's definitely more mental than anything. I mean, it's about getting those reps. It's about knowing you can get it through. After seeing it go through time and time and time again in practice, you got to get that. I mean, I came out here a couple of years after first of the year trying to kick that 40-yard field goal here on the field. I ain't kicked a ball in 2 years, but I mean, it's the fact that I wasn't seeing it go through, and I tried to kick. Ain't nothing happened, you know.
Yeah.
It's about seeing it go through. I had the leg strength. I still have the leg strength, but it's about seeing it go through in practice and just mental.
Repetition.
Repetition.
All right. Well, Cougars fall to the previously 2-6, now 3-6 Tulane Green Wave. Mitchell Brock with Matt, Mark from TDECU Stadium. Back to you guys in the studio.